This is a significant day in the life of the JBC, all because of the proposal of Senator Panganiban. This workshop is his idea. He said we have a new staff. The JBC just hired new executives from Analisa Capacity down to the different official employees and employees of the JBC, and they are just starting up. As a matter of fact, the idea of a Judicial and Bar Council is really new in the world. Although in the Philippines, we've had it since 1987 when the new constitution was promulgated. The idea of a Judicial and Bar Council to screen and to select nominees for future appointments to judicial positions is really new in the world. The old system was that the president appointed and a body, normally in the legislature, would confirm or reject the choice. This is true in presidential systems. In parliamentary systems, there are different ways, of course, but mostly the prime minister selects, and the selection is approved by a majority vote of parliament. In other words, the selection process at that time was largely political. But in our country, this was changed as part of the reform measures undertaken by our 1987 Constitution. The idea was particularly credited to former Chief Justice Roberto Concepcion, who had a sad experience himself in the political process during his time. From the time that our 1936 Constitution was governed the selection of members of the judiciary in 1930 or 1946 up, although it really began in 1936. He discovered that it was not good for the judiciary to be a product of the political process. That in as much as there is separation of powers among the three great branches of government, he thought that there should be as little politics as possible in the selection of members of the judiciary. So he thought of the Judicial and Bar Council. It was a step that, you may not know, was followed by many countries in the world. The idea of an independent judicial council to select, to screen, to pre-screen members of the judiciary is now a trend that many countries in the world follow. Of course, in the United States, they still have the old system going on, but they themselves in the United States are looking at their system. The system of choosing members of the judiciary through a non-political process is an idea that has caught the imagination of many countries. In fact, in some other countries, they're even more advanced to remove completely the appointment of members of the judiciary from the executive and give it, in fact, to the Supreme Court or to a Judicial and Bar Council itself. In our country, of course, in our tripartite division of responsibilities, the appointing power is essentially executive. And so, even our 1987 Constitution has preserved that the power to appoint, which is basically executive in character, is retained by the President. But to limit that to the most qualified, to limit the appointing authority only to the most qualified, then the Judicial and Bar Council was thought of and was created. Now we are doing it. We are implementing it. And as I said, this workshop is very historic in our process, in our evolution, in the metamorphosis of this system of pre-selecting judges from which we form the pool or the reservoir from which the president may appoint. Of course, judicial reform is essentially a responsibility of the Supreme Court. How to make the judiciary work so it's independent, so it has integrity, so the judges and justices there work with competence, with industry, with dedication. That is the responsibility of the Supreme Court. But in that responsibility, I think number one would be the Judicial and Bar Council. Because no amount of cleansing, no amount of reforming will be successful if the new judges who come in are not themselves pre-reformed, pre-cleansed. I'll give a little example.